everybody. It's August 25th, 2021. My name's Piano Matty B. That's Scaramucci's. And this is your morning TA. A brief window into the crypto markets, where the sun's shining, where the wind's blowing, all the humble opinion of this piano. Zamboni bringing the data. The FOMO index has dropped to 73 from yesterday's 79. And Nosy Miss Nussbaum's social media market sentiment in a rent-controlled apartment in Queens is at 85%, which means every time people talk about Bitcoin, has an 85% positivity rate. Bitcoin dominance is slightly up to 43.23%, as is the 24-hour volume at 79.3 billion. And the overall market cap has dipped ever so slightly down to 2.08 trillion. Give or take a couple $100 million. Today my landline rang, and I forgot I even had a landline. It was Historical Norm. And he said, "Are you aware of the monthly dip-in pumps we've seen in 2021? And I said, "Is that a band, the dip-in pumps?" He said, "No, and as far as he's concerned, the only band that's worth its weight in gold is Steely Dan. Its fusion of prog rock polyrhythms over digestible melodies and top-shelf musicianship leaves it untouchable since, and probably for the foreseeable future, if you ask me, which I didn't." Anyways, dip-in pumps, Norm, what are they, and why are you calling me on my landline? He said, "Take a look at the end of January. What do you see in the last 10 days? And I said, "A dip-in pump?" Bingo! Price action went from 35K to 30, only to pump back up to 38K. Now let's take a look at February, last 10 days. What do you see? A dip-in pump from the all-time high at that point of 57K, down under the 20 moving average to 44K, only to pump back up to 60. He said, "Now, Piano Matty B, have you heard of the Ides of March? Well, take a look at the dip-in pumps of March." And I said, "That's a stretch. Ides of March, dip-in pumps of March, that doesn't really make sense, Norm." "Oh, it doesn't? Or does it make so much sense you can't even fathom it? The last 10 days it dips from 58 down past the 20 moving average to 47K. Gives the 50 moving average a Charlie horse. Then pumps back up to 60 again. Are you seeing a pattern, Piano Matty B?" "Yes, I am, but what about April, Norm?" He said he never met a girl named April that wasn't crazy, but let's talk about the next month. Halfway through April, massive dip down from the all-time high of 65K, gives the 20 moving average a noogie and heads down to 47.5, where we roughly are now, I might add. Catching my drift, smarty pants? Listen, Norm, I'm on your side, okay? We're friends here. Well, if you'd stop playing your fancy piano for a second, maybe you'd see these patterns too. And at this point, I've almost had it with Norm. But the suspense was killing me. What happened in May, Norm? Oh, May, you want to see a dip? I'll show you a dip. How's this for a dip? May was basically a free fall dip from 57 all the way down to 29. But then it had a cute little pump, only to finish itself off with another dip-in pump from 42 down to 33, only to pump back up to 40K. But if you thought June was immune to the dip-in pump, think again, my friend. Last part of June, price action dips down from 40K, rips the 20 moving average a new one, and French kisses 29. Then pumps back up to 36K. And Norm, you should never use the word French kiss. It's gross. Well, you might not like that, but you're gonna love this. July last 10 days, price action dips down from 34.5, clotheslines the 20 moving average, and hits 29K again. Only to, you guessed it, pump back up to 41K. But don't start whistling Dixie now, Piano Matty B. Because last 10 days of July, price action dips down from 42 all the way down to 38, only to pump back up to 50K. Now my fancy piano player, what's happening now? A dip and pump, Norm? Darn tootin', it's a dip and pump, and we're dipping from 50 down to 47 right now, and some change. But I hate to break it to you, Ebony and Ivory, but we haven't broke that 20 yet, so hold on to those fancy hats of yours, because if historical patterns have any type of correlation to future price probability, I bet you a nickel to a donut we'll break the 20 at 46K, and then we'll get real cozy with our old good pal, the 200 moving average, down at 45.7 before what happens? We pump, Norm? Darn tootin' we pump. That's when we see 53.2. That number you keep throwing out there. Okay, so let me get this straight, historical Norm. We're in the last 10 days of a monthly dip and pump. And once September 1 comes, we'll reverse from 45.7 and pump all the way back to 53.2. Norm? Are you there? He hung up on me. So remember, we're playing the same game as our psychopathic elected lead. That's right, it's a long game. So zoom out and have a fantastic day. BitBoy Crypto Morning TA. Cha-cha-cha-ching.